If you want to create a spreadsheet for your classes to upload into the Nspire Navigator software, you want to start by exporting your roster from your student management system if that's possible. This is an example of what that might look like once you've exported it. The first thing that you need to do is go ahead and delete out all of this extra information at the top that you don't need. So I'm just going to click on the rows 1 through 6, right click on that, select delete. Once that's been done, a column needs to be inserted at the beginning where we can label our class period. To do that, click on column A, then right click, select insert. We're going to title this class. You can label your class periods anything you want as long as they have at least 3 characters. So I'm just going to label this one as first, typing it in twice, then selecting these 2 cells will allow me to grab this little square down here at the bottom, drag down and fill in. If you don't type it in twice and then select it, it will fill it as first, second, third, fourth, and so on. I now see I have some extra rows down here that I also need to delete, so I'm going to repeat that process where I'm going to select rows 9 through 12. I'm sorry, make that 9 through 13 because I don't want to repeat the headers. So I'm going to right click and delete that. This will now become second period. You can do this on one spreadsheet, or if you prefer, you can do a separate spreadsheet for each of your classes. So I'm filling that down with second period. As long as your classes are identified as different class periods, they'll upload into the software as those different class periods. I want to show you in column B that some of the students have a last name, a first name, and a middle initial. Some of them may have, I've noticed in the past, 2 last names. So in that instance, you want to click on that student and either hyphenate the last name or just choose to use one last name, or you can click and backspace and just have it look like this. So now I can see that I have at most 1, 2, 3, 4 names on a row. So I'm going to click on cell C or row C, and I'm going to go ahead and insert 3 more columns. Doing this will allow me to separate the last name, the first name, the middle initial, and so on, so that each name has its own column. To do that, select column B, then on your Excel spreadsheet, click Data. Next, change text to columns. We want to leave it delimited. Click Next. Unclick Tab. Click comma, space. So you can see it in the illustration at the bottom. That's how it's going to separate our columns. Click Next, and finally Finish. So I have the last name, first name, middle initial, and spreading it out. So all I really need is the last and first. Highlight column D, delete that, and then delete this one as well. So you have last name, first name. The next thing that I want to point out to you is when a student is in more than one class period. So you can see right here on row 3 and then also on row 10, I have those, that student is repeated. Same last name, same first name, same student ID. It will not upload into the rosters if there is a student that is using the same username, password, in this case, ID number more than once. So I would choose the second period student, delete that student, and then when we upload the roster, we can assign Sammy to be in both first and second period. So I'm going to delete this row as well. So my class is ready to be saved. When you go to save it, it's a file, save as. You want to make sure it's saved as a CSV, delimited. If yours isn't showing that, just choose from the drop down. It might be on Excel workbook. You want to come down to CSV, delimited, click that, and then you want to save it to a location where you can find it. So I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to say I want to save it either as the same name or a different name. On this one, I'm just going to put Nav on here so that I know this is the one that's ready to use for my Navigator. So I'm going to save that. And your class is now ready to upload. So we'll look at that feature in the next video.